So
It's not
MAGA.
we.
So
It's
MAGA.
not we. That's what I'm trying to get to, is that it's
He.
never we. He. Because I don't know, Sasha, I,
He's.
I had gotten an email that I had to check, but I know you were talking about what was going on in Venezuela. Did you notice that when he was talking about Venezuela, and honestly, Dr. Sharif, we had, I'll refer to the geopolitical discussion that we had a couple of weeks ago or a couple of days ago. It's not about politics either. It's about himself, because what he had stated in the tweet, even just yesterday, or his tweet or social or whatever, and he's actually even said live that, hey, we're now going to run Venezuela. We're going to take their oil. I'm going to control how the money is run. He himself is controlling the finances around the oil being sold. He stated that, which means he is no different than what Maduro was doing. He left the whole regime there, but just took Maduro out and put himself in. So now he is in control of the money.
I
Where
don't understand.
I want to ask Nick to come on and talk about a legal matter, but go ahead, Sasha.
I'm wondering under what pretense, rule, or law he can essentially own the proceeds from selling of Venezuela oil, because it's been extracted from the grounds in Venezuela. So it's a property of Venezuela, whether with or without Maduro. So then at what point it's becoming a property of Trump? How that mechanism work? Is it simply that he already owns all Venezuela, and if that's the case, then of course he owns all the proceeds from whatever Venezuela is getting out of the ground. But but even that has not been done. So that first step is to appoint himself, to declare that Venezuela is done, gone, and it's no longer, it's just a territory owned by effectively the United States of America. And he is, as the president of the United States of America, he owns all Venezuela, all the oil, and whatever else is there.
And it's
now, that hasn't been done, to what I understand. So under what pretense, under what rules or law, he can appoint himself as the prosecutor and the executor and whatever else is like owner and manager of Venezuelan oil. Nick, maybe you know how it's done.
Well, it's because
that's pretty simple. He's the commander-in-chief of the U.S. Armed Services. Kim, you said you had some legal issues that you want to bring up.
We're talking about protesting and don't block the road, and of course,
right.
You don't want to, but honestly, is it that big of an illegal offense if she's trying to move? And no, it's not. So
actually, Rick brought it up that it's actually part of the DOJ policy that you're not supposed to use lethal force in situations like this.
And they could have just shot her tires out.
That's DOJ policy. That's DOJ policy. So the thing is, it's what I think Rick brought up. You have some really untrained agents because there were alternative force that they could use. First of all, there are bad things being committed on both sides. Okay, there's bad things committed on both sides. If you look at this particular case,
protesters are not really nice. I wish they would, but
they don't. I understand that. See, the thing is, I hate to say it, you should not be blocking roads. Okay.
Well,
so
have you ever been in Minnesota trying to do a 3
If you're a single mother with children at home, the last thing you do is get in a car and go run and block some roads. Do not do that. That's bad. Then, to compound matters, if you're an ICE agent, you do not shoot people that are sitting ducks in a car. So what you had is bad things on both sides. If you look at what social media is saying, is that they were both right.
Nick,
No, they were
you
not
just
both right. They were both
equated
wrong.
You know what,
So
though?
the
I
next
want
time
to
you're thinking
stop the
about
blocking the
protesting.
road.
Right.
please
No, I agree, Nick.
do
I agree. I
not
think we
Hold
need to
block
stop
the
the
road.
protesting.
Hold
You
on.
know, I use
Put
roads all the
guns in
time. I
our
really
cars
don't
and shoot
appreciate it.
Wait,
If you're
wait.
got a bunch of protesters
Hasselhoff
putting on a
threat.
road, I'm not going to shoot you, but
We,
no,
Nick,
Right.
you
No, I
guys have got to
agree.
stop it. You guys
Nick,
got to cut it
I
out.
agree.
Nick,
I
hold
And
on.
the other
agree.
thing we got to
Wait.
cut
I got
out
a
is the
question.
leadership
I got a question
encouraging
because
it.
I need some
Right.
clarification
I think
here.
we all need to go to
There's
DC,
ultimate
march
forms of
7 times
Let me
around
ask
the
a question. Let me ask you a question because I want some clarification. Did you just equate blocking a road with killing someone?
Yes.
No,
He's conservative.
Jacoby, this is where you're having hearing problems. I thought I was getting old and having hearing problems. What I was saying is this: you should not block roads, and I was also saying you should not shoot people who block roads.
Right.
Hold
He
on.
said
Does that make
both.
sense?
And
No.
Wait.
But
I'm going to agree
please,
with
Just
that.
for a little bit
there are
more
a lot of
clarification.
protesting that have
Just
gone out
for a
there.
little bit more
You do not
clarification.
block roads. There are people
Just
that have
for a
agree.
little bit.
Apparently,
Nick,
this
I agree
lady,
with you.
this
Just for a
lady
little
has
bit.
a children at
Nick,
home.
hold on.
Now, by the way, I don't know. See, we don't
Just
know all
for a
the
little
facts.
more clarification.
I don't know because, from what I understand, she lived real
Just-
close to that
just for a little
neighborhood
more
that she may not
clarification.
have been blocking the road. She may have just been
For a
out
little more
there.
Professor
clarification.
Professor,
But don't
Professor
do
Lee.
that. And
So I
Just
want
for a
to
little
respectfully,
add.
you know?
I want to
Professor
add
Lee.
that I want.
And please, your leaders, don't encourage people to do that.
Professor Nick,
This is
You know,
bad
I
behavior.
watched
Professor Nick.
several videos, and other cars
Professor
were
Nick,
I know
going away.
you think blocking
She could
roads
have
are
just
okay.
been there by
Hold on.
accident.
Okay.
She could have
I
just
got
been
it.
there by accident.
Professor
Because
Nick,
other
I know
cars
that's
were
what I'm saying. We don't know.
going
She may have
I
been.
just want a little extra
There's a lot of
clarification.
cars there.
I just
There's
want
a
a
lot
little
of
extra
cars there,
clarification.
and there's
She should have
cars
never
out here
been
in
shot in
Spain
the
that
face
block
4
roads all the
times.
time.
I get it. You
Okay.
keep rambling on
But
about blocking the
our
road.
police in Spain
I
don't run
get- I
out
just
and
want
shoot
clarification
people that
on
are
this.
blocking roads.
Professor Nick,
Hey, hold
Professor
on.
Nick.
We keep going back to the blocking of the road.
But you're a
What?
protester.
Hold on.
do
Wait.
not block roads.
Let me point out. Hold on. Wait.
Did you know that?
Just a real quick
But we
clarification.
don't know that
point.
she was.
Just real
We
quick
don't know that she
clarification
was
point.
blocking.
Real quick clarification point. She was not fully blocking the road because there were people that went around. Matter of fact, another ICE agent
Yeah.
drove in front of her and left the road.
And drove
So
around.
therefore, when
Yeah.
you're saying blocking the road,
She
she
wasn't
was
blocking the road.
leaving. And then on top of that, you
She was
cannot
leaving.
point to me a law where blocking the road, regardless in protest, leads to the death penalty. So therefore, when you're trying to equate saying, hey, bad was done on both sides, that's
I said
not
it's bad on
right.
both sides. You're the
Well,
one
I
who
think
said
what we
that.
That
have
is
to
a
do
lie.
is
You're trying
Please,
to
please don't tell me what I say when I'm here to say what I want.
Let me get a word in. All right. Let me
I mean, it's
stand
perfectly clear.
let me stand up for
so
Nick.
MAGA
Okay.
is
Hold
I
on.
do not
back
condone
on
his
John
behavior
Freeman.
against policy,
We need to
There is
but
no
I don't
law
condone
against
her
the death
behavior, but I'm not
penalty.
sure if I can say her
Let me
behavior was
get a
wrong
word
either
in
because I
here.
don't know
Okay.
enough
This
facts
is
about it.
it's
You
okay.
guys know
This is
everything. I don't.
let me hold on. Let me make the point. This is a little like blaming the victim, but let me get the point in where you don't want to when somebody gets raped, you don't want to say, well, what was she wearing? However, if there's a bunch of rapists out there, you do want to tell people to maybe not wear sexy stuff. It's not
That's a poor
fair.
argument.
You ought to be able to protest, but given that ICE is killing people with
That's a
impunity,
poor argument.
then if you're a parent, it's not fair that you can't
Rick, that's a
protest.
poor
but
argument.
maybe don't put yourself in the way of
Rick?
untrained, unaccountable, killing people.
Let me explain why that is a poor argument. The
Okay.
reason that is a poor argument, you're still turning around and blaming the victim. You're saying, well, you should have just done this better. The thing is, ICE has no jurisdiction over arresting people or traffic control. So
No.
therefore, the ICE agent
Or
who got
protest.
out of the car to yank somebody from a vehicle was already out of pocket. So therefore, the woman was in the right. So sitting here saying, well, she shouldn't have blocked the road, where ICE should have called the cops. Well, she should have done something different. Well, ICE had no jurisdiction to go even close to her car. She was a U.S. citizen.
Okay, fine. But
So
all right,
then
let me
your
make
argument
another.
of trying to turn it to, hey, this is
By the way, that's according to
you.
Jacoby. That may
You
or may
should have
not
been
be
smarter
true.
than
Whether or
it's
not they have the
all
right to
blaming the
unblock the
victim.
road. So
Well, let me
let's
make
not-
another
let's
let
not
me
make
make
that a
another argument.
factual
If
statement.
you're in an
Does
area,
ICE have?
hold
Wait
on,
a second,
no,
real
no,
quick,
no,
Rick.
hold
Real
on.
quick, Rick. Before you even jump in, because Nick is again going to this whole blocking the road incident. Nick, does
Yeah,
ICE
I
have
like it.
jurisdiction to run traffic control in Minneapolis, Minnesota?
No,
The answer is no. So, Nick, from this point on,
They-
you're
no,
blocking
you
of the
said no. I
road.
do not
You're
say no to
blocking
that.
of the road.
They
You're
may have federal
blocking of the
jurisdiction,
road. You're going to
Jacoby.
let me finish
You know,
this
you're just making
point
that up.
because you're not going to overtalk me on this. You're blocking of the road.
I'm not over talking. I'm correcting you.
Means nothing.
Jacoby, I won't
Professor,
over talk you. I'll give you the
have
stage. But I won't
jurisdiction.
correct you.
So can I
Jacoby.
I'm gonna jump in. ICE has no civil jurisdiction over the United States citizens in protest matters, nor in enforcing blocked roads. What they should have done is contacted the police department and asked them to remove the blocked cars.
All right,
That's
so,
what
all right,
should have
I'm
happened.
going to make
Because ICE has no civil
yeah,
jurisdiction.
let me make an argument here.
None.
If you're in an area with a lot of grizzly bears, do not wear a dress made of meat. Now, so ICE is supposed to follow the rules.
But they
ICE
don't.
isn't following the rules. And you have to make in a real world, you have to decide with these dangerous a-holes out there, do you want to take the risk that you're going to now? ICE mostly doesn't kill people, but
we're not in America if we're having to do
Rick,
that.
You
Go
let me
home,
take your
close your
analogy.
doors, black out your windows.
Rick,
We
here,
have
let
gone
me-
back in history.
Let me take your analogy. If you're in an area with a lot of grizzly bears loose and running around, don't wear a meat suit.
Professor
Well,
Nick,
shouldn't those grizzly bears not be in that area? Which means the police should go ahead, or the zoologists and everybody should go ahead and take care of those grizzly bears.
Yeah,
which
but
means I
right
shouldn't
now
be
the
there in the
grizzly
first
bears are out there. So
Jatavi, my friend, I'm from a small country. I'm a very small man. I have a small question to Professor Nick. Professor Nick, you know, I'm from a very small country, Bangladesh. You know, Bangladesh is a very
170
good
million
friend.
isn't small.
Yes, small, very small. We have all of the small.
170 million is not small.
Okay, anyway, Professor, like we are very good friend of Trump, and whenever he imposed tariff and all of the things, we fulfill it. My question recently, and we are a very good football lover country. Many people love footballs, and 2026 USA has football World Cups and all of the things, soccer. So recently, Trump administration imposed bond, $5,000, $10,000, and $15,000, and we are poor, but we are talent, we are hardworking, and how we overcome from this situation? What's your thought? Why they impose bond in Bangladesh? I don't know, in South Asia. What's your thought? How we can overcome? You know, you have a very good audience from Bangladesh, Professor Nick. What is your advice?
Trump. Don't support
Yeah.
Trump. Don't support him. Don't sit there and say he's right. Don't do it anymore.
Now, I
First
only
off,
say,
he's
I
a
only say, I
No,
love Nick.
first off, he is a convicted felon. He is, by the courts of law, a convicted felon. Okay.
Well,
He's
well-
also a convicted sex offender. He also redacted his names from the Epstein files. If you want to see the names that were, before they were redacted, I have a book on them because I linked to court records before he was redacting them, and I downloaded those court records. Now, those court records are not compiled into the book because it's millions and millions of pages, but I have links. And what I was smart enough to do was download the records. But he is a convicted felon, convicted sex offender. He is a pedophile who literally has pardoned himself by using millions of taxpayer dollars, millions of our dollars, to redact his name from those files that put a woman in prison. Those files were used to put one person in prison. Millions of men, thousands of men committed illicit activities against children that are in those files, and only one person in all of those years have been put to prison, and that was a woman. Okay? I want you to think about that. thousands of men, males who identify as heterosexual, 99% of them, 0.9, because only one woman went to prison, all identified as heterosexual. Okay. So don't tell me anything that MAGA preaches is for the greater good of mankind, because it's not. You're supporting a horrible creature.
Well,
I'm not even going to call him a monster because, quite frankly, in our cartoons, monsters are cute. So, no, he's a creature.
So just to point out, a lot of everything that Kim stated was true. He is a rapist. He is tied to Epstein, all the other stuff. But this is where I think it would hit home for you, Dr. Sharif, and all of those in Bangladesh. What is it? Is the Muslim religion dominant? One of the dominant religions in that area? Bangladesh, is that one of the more dominant religions in Bangladesh?
Hello, what's happening?
Hello.
I don't know. Doc.
Hello.
Is the Muslim religion one of the dominant religions in that area?
Yes. But I want to say Bangladesh people are liberal, very liberal. Yeah.
Yeah. So just like he's done in other areas of the world, and actually even in the U.S., he's pushed a lot of narratives demonizing anyone who's Muslim.
Oh, okay.
He's already pushed from when 9/11 happened. He pushed out from that point on how the Muslim religion was extremist. From even just what's going on in the different countries of Africa, where he's pushed that he'll only go in to save Christians because Christians are being killed. He didn't care the fact that the Muslim individuals were being killed at greater numbers. He talked about the Christians that were being killed. And even more so, he gave only the Christians, the white Christians in South Africa are the only ones that he was allowing into the U.S. and actually reached out to try and save them from genocide, which there was no genocide. Yet when he bombed Nigeria and talking about the Christians in Nigeria, he's still barring those black individuals coming from Nigeria because they are black Christians. He didn't even speak about the Muslims that were being killed there, didn't even talk about the Muslims being killed in Palestine and so on and so forth. So in terms of that support, you're already looking at somebody who's already seeing you as a second-class citizen and not a person of equal or an equal on the same level. So that I think that would hit home more so in that area.
No, I completely understand. But in South Asia, they imposed this bond for 3 countries. One for Bangladesh, another for Nepal, another for Bhutan. Bhutan is one of the peaceful countries in this world. And they are not Muslim. Nepal, major population not Muslim. They are Hindus. So I don't know. But Bangladesh is a very good friend for USA. Very good friend for USA.
And if you look at the other good friends of the USA, if they're brown skinned, by this administration, they should be questioned. That's where the whole problem comes into play. And I mean, I don't say these things lightly. It's just the way that it has been. And the way, for example, if you look at our immigration, all the immigration that's going on, the attacking, the deportations of individuals and so on and so forth, they're putting on TV and doing all the shows and everything else and deporting more Hispanic, anybody of brown skin. Many of the lighter skinned individuals that look white and so on and so forth, that sound white, he's already stated that he doesn't want individuals from these brown skinned countries and wants more people from the white countries. So these are the things that he's actually put out there.
No. Honestly speaking, how I see the business approach for USA, how Sasha explained, you explained, I just learned from you that USA has major economical challenges. And this is my honest opinion as a researcher, as I do financial institution research in Asia. So Asian investment company has a lot of investment in USA, lot. Even though, let's say, your big company Nvidia, they get a huge investment from Japan, from Asia. Okay, many, even China, even though USA always deny this China Belt and Road Initiative, but China is a major investor for USA, Middle East investor for them. Even Bangladeshi entrepreneur, they invest in USA. So I do not know what is the equations of economy. I do not know. I love to learn. But as Asia heavily investing in USA, your tech industry, your academia, your infrastructures and everywhere. On the other hand, you are saying I'm protecting USA through immigrations, through bond, through all of the things. Is it not like biggest contradictory issues for USA? Is it that USA actually, with their administration, with their federal government, they are actually losing their economic momentum? They are actually going more troubles with tariff. Let's say they said we want to impose 500% taxes in India. Isn't like they are actually losing Indian investment culturally? They are starting. It's my honest opinion. Just creating all of the.
We're going to have to hold off till tomorrow because we're at the deadline. And hopefully tomorrow we'll have Mark Lee back. But great conversations, guys, and we will see you tomorrow on World Edition. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.